Hey, welcome or welcome back to 4F Beauty. When will I be YouTube famous? I don't know. What I do know is that one of you lovely viewers out there, part of my 4F family, asked me to do, still fighting with these tops folks, asked me to do a fall look that did not involve orange or brown eyeshadow, because apparently that's all most people are doing for their fall looks. So I did this look on Monday, popped it up on Insta, asked if people wanted to see it. It got a rousing thumbs up. So using my Hasina 2 palette from Blush Tribe, I produced this stunning green and purple fall inspired look. So if you want to find out exactly how I achieved this, my friend, you're in exactly the right place. Here comes the tutorial. Hey, welcome back from the intro. I'm trying out a unicorn instead of cat ears. Can't decide whether I prefer it or not. Anyway, you will have already seen from the intro what look we're doing. I actually had a comment on one of my videos that I put up asking for autumn or fall looks that weren't just orange and brown. So, your wish is my command, kinda. I did a look and popped it up on Insta and said, would anybody be interested in seeing this look? There's the picture. Hope I remember to put it in, otherwise I'm just pointing at fresh air. And I used this palette to do it with the Hasina 2 from Blush Tribe. So, let's get you zoomed in and let's start putting some of this on my face. Hope you've been having a good day so far. If you're at the start of your day, I hope it's going to be a good one. There we go. Right, all I've got on my face at the moment, I have primed with my usual antiperspirant facial primer that I get from Amazon. I have got a separate film about that. If I remember, I'll link it, but if not, it's in my mini tutorial. Yeah, playlist. There you go. I'm having a really bad pain day, so it's likely I'm going to forget a lot of words and get confused quite a bit, so you're gonna have to forgive me on that one. Right, usual blurb. When I look straight ahead, you can see all of my mobile lid. If you don't see that, you've either got a half or a full hooded lid, or what's known as a mono lid or an Asian eye. Now, you can still follow my tutorial. All you need to do, get a brush similar to this, with your eye open, sketch out where you need your crease to be. Now, obviously by raising the crease up, it's going to reduce the amount of space you've got between the crease and the brow. Now you can try just raising your brows, because you can see that does actually stretch the skin out, give you a bit more space. If you're still finding that it doesn't give you enough space, then we need to talk brushes. Now I'm going to start off with this brush, big old fluffy one. Yes, it's clean, it just got stained by, I can't even remember which palette it was stained it now, but one of them did. Oh, shame. So I'm starting off with this brush and then I'm going down to this one, and you can see the width of the head is much smaller. So if you have got a much reduced space here, start off with this type of brush rather than this one. Still needs to be really loosely packed so that you can get the blend, and just be advised that it will probably take you a little bit longer to do your blending because you've got a smaller head to it. Now, as I said, I start with this brush, then I go down to this one. So if you started with this one, you then want to go for a tapered crease brush, which is like a pencil brush, but it's much looser than a pencil brush. You've still got the ability to blend with it, but you can see you only have a very little bit of the actual bristles touching your skin. Hello, darling. Hubby's just wandering through. He's mowing the lawn. He's just going to empty the... Hang on, let me just swing you around.
Oh.
Hang on, I've got to zoom you back out again so they can see you. There we go.
Hello.
See, and
What's some grass?
Grass
Just the
clippings.
legal kind.
Oh,
It's alright.
husbands. So, if you do hear the occasional back door go and then clump, 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 it's the hubby going through with more garden clippings. So, that was a little bizarre. Right, as I was saying, all I've got, I've primed my face with my usual antiperspirant primer. I've got Revolution Conceal and Define in C1. That was upside down, wasn't it? C1. Blended across my eye and set with Coty Airspun Translucent Extra Coverage. Right. I am now going to go into Passinado. Love this palette. Absolutely love this palette. It's got my three favourite colours in it, which is the purple, the green and the blue. So why wouldn't I love this palette? I've got my colour switch for tapping off and for cleaning the brush. So let's get it started in here. Right, I'm going to go in with Mahia first. Husband.
Oh. There we go.
Tap off, as you can. Do you know what? I think this might have been the one that actually stained the brush green in the first place. Oops. Right, so we're going to start off at the outside edge, and for me, I'm just going to follow the socket of my eye in a windscreen wiper movement backwards and forwards. If you've had to raise your crease, then just follow along whichever line you have started. Alright, and then I'm going to go back in and pick up a bit more on the brush, tap off. Now, because I'm 44 and because I've lost a lot of weight, the skin on my eyelids moves. This side where I'm blind and it got pulled around a lot as a kid, you can see I've got permanent creasing there. So I have real struggles with that eye. But the best way that I've found to put powder on in a way that it moves the eyelid around enough that you don't get any white patches, but doesn't stretch it too much to make it even worse, is the little circular movements. Now, I always hold the brush right at the very end, so I put as little pressure on as possible. So, start at the outside edge. I'm just going to do little circular movements across to the middle, and then we're going to lift up, reverse the direction, and come back again. And if you're like me and you've got quite deep set eyes, or you've got quite high eyebrows, or you've shaved yours off and put your eyebrows wherever you want them, you can go up again, go back to the original direction, and come back in. Now, I like to leave at least 4 or 5 mils below the lowest part of my brow, mainly because it helps show off your brow highlight better. So I've just popped a little bit more on here, and I'm just going to increase the depth of colour up here, because where I've got wrinkles just here, I do struggle sometimes with getting the colour to actually lay down properly on this corner. I have the same problem this side, you can see, the sort of vertical. So I'm just gonna add a wee bit extra depth of colour to that top bit there. Right, now when we get to this stage and I'm happy with the depth of colour I've got, without putting any more on the brush, I'm now going to do little tiny windscreen wipers backwards and forwards and up and down, all the way across, just to make sure that the blend is as seamless as possible. So we really don't want to see any patches or areas, and I tend to do a mixture of circles and windscreen wipers until I've got the sort of colour that I'm happy with. See? Now, I'm now going to go and do exactly the same on the other eye. But I'm not going to speed it up, I'm not going to do it off camera, because it used to wind me up when I was learning. It doesn't give you an accurate idea of how long it's actually going to take you to do the look in the first place. And also, I can now show you what I mean about tiger striping. See, I have real trouble here, and with these creases, even when I do the circles, it doesn't blend that out. So unfortunately with this eye I do have to very gently pull it out and blend while it's actually stretched. Now do not do this if doing the circular bits sorts it out for you. I just know from experience, unfortunately, because I've got so many creases there, when I do the circular bits I still have that sort of barcoding or tiger striping effect. Only do that if you've already got the same problem as me, otherwise you will end up with the same problem as me. And that was my back door just opening without the husband there. Okay. Seems like the ghosts are visiting again. That's fine. It is Halloween when I'm recording this, so the veil is at its thinnest. And we know my granddad is still visiting because we had a new kitchen put in about 4 years ago. Because with my back and the issues I was having, I just couldn't bend to our old oven. So we had an eye level oven put in, the grill above it. So just so that I could still, on days when I'm feeling okay, I can actually cook, which sadly are fewer and farther apart now. But hubby's good. Hubby's awesome. He actually quite likes learning how to cook. I think he likes the accomplishment of it. So that's always awesome. But yeah, I knew the workmen we had coming in, so I had no problem leaving them alone in the house to do the work. And I'd nipped out to get, I think I popped out to get my nails done. And sorry, that's my phone vibrating. As always, I've gone in a little bit heavier on the left eye than the right, so I'm just going to balance it back up again. You all know I'm not afraid of colour, nor should you be. If you want to wear, I mean, this is a Wednesday lunchtime, and I will be going out like this. And in fact, when I did the look that I put on Instagram, it was a Monday, and we went out and wandered around the supermarket doing the food shopping, including false lashes that day. So, yay! Don't anybody tell you you can't wear what you want to wear. Oh, I was telling you about Grandad, wasn't I? Yes, I'd gone out to get my nails done. When I came back in, one of the workmen, who's not prone to flights of fancy, said to me, "Your house is haunted, Ange. Ange, your house is haunted." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, cool, no, it's fine, it's just my grandparents." And he's like, "No, oh, I was walking through the front room to go to the kitchen and I saw this tall bloke next to me. Thought it was Michael, turned round. It wasn't Michael, there was nobody there, Michael was in the kitchen." I'm like, yeah. And I got a photograph out of my granddad in his fireman's uniform from the Second World War. He was in the AFS and the NFS during the Second World War. That's why he was in a protected service and wasn't actually drafted into the army, because in his younger years he was in the Welch Regiment and he was out in India and Waziristan and all kinds of places like that. And he joined the brigade. Blimey, when did he join the brigade? Early 30s, I think. So he was already in the protected service when war broke out, thankfully. Although being a fireman was dangerous then as well. Unexploded bombs going off when they were at a shout and all sorts. But that's a different story. But yeah, I showed Cornell a picture of my granddad in his uniform and he's like, "Oh my god, that's him, that's the bloke I saw." I'm like, yeah, he died in 1987, Cornell. So that kind of freaked him out a little bit. Right, so, as I was saying, we know my granddad's still around. I've cleaned the brush off. even though it doesn't really look like it. This is definitely the palette that stained my brush. And I'm going to go into Re, which is quite an unusual shade in that if you put it next to a green it looks more blue, if you put it next to a blue it looks more green. So yeah, I like that. So I'm going in with the same brush as before, and I'm going to start off in the same way by running that through the crease. And then I'm going to go and pick up some more pigment on the brush. That time it was Husband, by the way. And this time when I do the circles, rather than going up the eye with it, I'm just going to keep it level with the crease line. I'm not going to go up the eye at all. I'm still going to reverse the direction and come back again, but I'm keeping the brush in contact with the line that I have just put down. Okay, I've definitely gone darker on the green this time than I did last time because Re is not showing up as well. So I'm just gonna, so that I get exactly the same colour, just gonna pop Re on this side again. I'm gonna have to go in with a slightly darker green, obviously. Shall I try fading some of Re out a little bit at the top? There's a little bit of a buff up here, a little bit, just to soften that green down a little bit. See what I mean about the green coming off on the brushes? That's me getting carried away with colour. It's not a problem though. Just need to remember that I need to do a proper clean of the brushes after I've used this palette. Right, I'm going to pick up a bit of Marnie on this brush and deepen up with that one. And again, circular movements, but keeping it in contact with that line at all times. So, any of you got relatives that still visit you that have passed over, or had any experience with ghosts of any kind, or spirits? If you have, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your stories. And again, going in with Manny again on this side, or Marnie. And again, tiger striping. Pick up the extra. And blend across again. I mean, you can see, I mean, she was really, really brave to release a green, blue and purple palette because those are the colours that are the most difficult to create and the most difficult to get a good blend with. But I absolutely adore this palette. I think it blends stunningly. And I definitely recommend it. I'm having issues just on this outer part of my eye the last couple of weeks actually, getting pigment to lay and stay. So I don't know whether I've got a spot brewing or something. But I really struggle just with this particular bit here to get pigment to stay put. But you just keep going, be patient with it. If necessary, just stamp a bit of pigment back on when you finish blending. Right, I'm now going to go in with the smaller brush. Now, previously, I did, on the look that I put up, I did Marnia, Re, and then deepened with this one because I went so deep with this one this time. Re wasn't really showing up, so I've deepened with that one. So this time I'm going to go in with this purple over here, which is a Mohan. I'm just going to pop a little bit of that just on the outside corner of the eye. Give it a bit of a buff. And I'm going to take that through the crease line as well. Now, this time when I blend it, last time when I blended I had the bottom of the brush level with the top of the line I've just laid down. This time I am literally just blending right in that crease itself. So I'm going to tilt my head back this side and look down, just so that you can see exactly how tightly I'm keeping that brush to that line. Still reversing the direction, still coming back again. But I'm literally blending just in that crease. You can see that really deepens it up, but you still get to see the two beautiful greens that I'd already put down. So you can of course deepen up with a black if you want, and there is a lovely black in this palette, but I fancied using the purple today. Nice. And then again this side. Initially just tap the pigment on the outer third. I'm not worried about fallout because obviously I haven't done my base yet, but I do get more fallout from this eye simply because this lid moves around more. So tap the pigment on and give it a bit of a buff, and then pick up some more pigment. The plane's low, and again run it through the crease, and again only do this if you've already got the same problem that I have. You alright there, lovey? Are you struggling with that door then?
Yeah.
Ah, you got the shears. Okay.
Shears. There we go.
So as you can see, it's much easier to show you with this eye because I can actually shut it. Because if I shut the other eye, there wouldn't be an awful lot of makeup happening. It really would be a case of the blind leading the blind. So it's much easier with this eye because I can actually just close it and show you. It's also a lot easier if you need to tap extra pigment in. Like so. I really like this. I liked this when I did it on Monday. Right, now I'm going in with this. This is a flat packer brush. It's actually a So Eco brush, but I've washed it so many times, the name's come off, so I haven't got a clue what it's called. And as always, I'm going to be wetting the brush with this Obsession Pigment Boost. You can use anything to wet the brush with. You can use Fix Plus or Mario Badescu, which are both moisturising sprays, and they don't actually extend the wear of your makeup. A lot of people think Fix Plus does, but it doesn't. It sort of melts all of the powders together and gives you a more finished look. And if you're starting to go, if you had to do touch-ups during the day and you're concerned you've over-powdered and you're starting to look cakey, you can spritz some Fix Plus on, melts all the powders back in again and gives you a good look again. You can use your ordinary setting spray, you can even use clean water. But my cardinal rule is I never go into a palette with a wet brush, because that's when you can get hard pan where it seals over and becomes very, very difficult to pick pigment up. So I'm going to go into Monique and pack the pigment onto this brush. Okay. And then I'm going to spritz the brush. And we're going to apply this to the 2/3 of the lid that we haven't already put colour onto. And you can see that I don't actually need to put concealer down to get this to cover the darker colours that we originally blended with. Some palettes you would actually have to do a cut crease. You would need to put either eyelid primer or concealer down in order to get the opacity that this palette gives you. But you really don't need to do that with this palette. As you can see, it just goes on nicely, covers nicely. Okay. Now, so that I don't go back in with a wet brush, I clean both sides off on the colour switch and then rub it on the palm of my hand to make sure it's absolutely dry before I go back in. So, back into Monique. Pack the pigment, spray the pigment, apply the pigment. So you can really see how well this actually covers those darker mattes that we'd already used. It absolutely covers it completely. Pretty awesome, huh? And these don't need glitter glues to stay in place or anything like that. They are by far some of the best shimmer pigments that I've used, and I've used a lot of shimmer pigments. Right, I'm going to go off camera and do my foundation and everything, and then I'll be back to finish off under here and complete the look. So please don't go anywhere. Okay, I'm back. Yes, I decided I was going to go for false lashes. I actually felt like doing a tutorial for them, which I've been promising you for ages. So hopefully the lash tutorial will go up at the same time as this tutorial. So if you want to wear lashes with it, you can do. Now, I did actually wear lashes with this look on Monday, but I was wearing these, which are very similar to the Ardell Demi Wispies. So, to be honest, you didn't really notice them in my lashes at all. Whereas these huge ones that I've got on today, which I could probably fly out of the room on, are these. I got both lots from eBay. They were £2 for a set of 10. If you're not sure if you're going to get on with lashes, don't buy the expensive ones, buy yourself some cheap ones first and have a practice with them, because you don't want to be spending out £15 on a set of lashes if you're never going to actually wear them. Right, let's get you zoomed in. Oh Lord, these lashes really are dramatic, aren't they? I love them. Whoa! Well, I think I could have done this lot a little bit closer that way, a little bit close to the edge of the eye. Never mind. Right. Shall we finish off the under eye and finish this look off? Yeah, will that be a good idea? Awesome. Right. On a brush like this, I'm going to pick up Mohan, which is that purple that we used to deepen the crease up. And I'm just going to really gently buff that just along the lower lash line. Yes, I have already put mascara on my lower lashes, which normally I would do afterwards, but I did that during the lash tutorial, so it's kind of automatic really. If I put mascara on the top set, I always put mascara on the bottom set, which is not making this bit that much easy, but that much easy. Apparently putting lashes on destroys my grammar. Right, so as I was saying, we're going to pop this about 2/3. Oh, I'd love a top up, please, darling, thank you.
Yeah.
Hubby's just shaking the iron brew at me from the other end of the kitchen, and that is not a euphemism. Yes, I'm going to smudge this purple about 2/3 of the way along the bottom lash line, like so. Then I'm going to get a very similar shaped brush, so flat at the top, but you can see this one's a lot fatter. Okay, this is the skinny friend, this is the fat friend. We all got to have one of each, at least one of each. Right, I'm going to pop into Re and just pop it on the top of those bristles there. And then I'm going to really gently buff all the way along that lower lash line, just to soften that purple line that we put down there, and obviously to increase the dramatic effect, because we've gone pretty va-va-voom up here. To be honest, I'm kind of feeling a little bit like a drag queen with these lashes on. I haven't worn lashes this long for quite a while, so thanks, darling.
Yeah.
Look, skull mug full of iron brew. What more could a girl want, eh? He's a good man, my husband. Right. So yeah, I'm just going to buff this out along the lower lash line. Beautiful. I did my brows while I was off camera as well. I've actually done a pomade today, and for once I do not make it look like I've been attacked by a 2-year-old with a Sharpie. I think I might finally have cracked how to do my brows with a pomade. It's only taken me 18 months. If you want a tutorial on that, let me know. Right. I've got this new highlighter from Wet n Wild called White Raven. It's one of their limited edition ones. It's from their Goth range. But I can't make up my mind. See, it's got like a pinky purple shift to it, so it would kind of work with this look. But I think I want something a little bit more neutral, seeing as how the eyes are so bright. So I'm going to go in with this River Cosmetics Glass Skin highlighter in 01, which looks like this, and it's like a champagne gold. So on a little brush like this, similar to the brush we just used for under here, but just a smaller head on it, I'm just going to pop some of this just up under the end of the brow there, because I have very, very straight brows. The only reason it's got anything like a curve is because I actually pluck from here onwards. So adding a brow highlight helps to raise the brow bone, which gives a more youthful look, and also if you're like me and don't have much of a curve, it emphasises the thinner end of the brow and gives an illusion of a curve. So let's pop some of this in a corner. Now I normally do this before I put my mascara and everything on, but because I was going to do a false lash tutorial today, I hadn't quite got to this stage when I put the lashes on. Lovely. Right, where is my highlighting brush? There we go. This is a Zoeva 105 Luxe highlighter. Similar shape to the Anastasia A23, but it's just a bit more pluffy. The Anastasia one is a little bit more slimlined. You know me, I'm a little bit pluffy myself, so I might as well have a pluffy brush, mightn't I? So, down the middle of the nose. Look at that shine. It's like Rudolph on Christmas Eve. Look at that. And then Cupid's bow. Husband is laughing at me at the other end of the kitchen. And do you know, I don't know why I put highlight on my chin, because you highlight things you want to come forward, and thanks to my dad I've got a super sticky out chin anyway. And then let's do the cheek. Look at that. I do like this highlighter. This is one of those ones that the more you buff it, the more it sort of becomes wet look and gives you that beautiful, beautiful sheen. It doesn't emphasise texture at all. It's fast turning into one of my favourites, and it was only, I think, 15 quid compared to Jeffrey's, which admittedly I do love. I do want to get a full size of Sarcophagus at some point. I do like that one, but at the moment I'm trying to explore other things on this channel, because if I just used the Jeffrey ones all the time, I'm sure there's a lot of you who'd be like, oh, for goodness sake, can you use something that we can actually afford? So, yeah, sure, no problem. And admittedly, whilst this isn't one of the cheapest options, you know, Wet n Wild are quite cheap, I've got Revolution ones as well, so. But I really like, I kind of want to bathe in this highlighter. It's just that blooming good. Right, now it's time for liquid lipstick, and I know a lot of people struggle if they've not used a doe foot applicator before. So I am going to show you my easy way of applying liquid lipsticks. So let's tilt you down a bit. I'm going to go in, having just said I wasn't going to use any Jeffree Star, I'm going to use one of his lipsticks. This is Fudge Pop from his summer range this year, and it's a beautiful metallic brown. So we're going to start off, just do the inside of the bottom lip, and then we turn the applicator on its side to line the edge of that bottom lip. Okay, now the top lip is where most people really struggle. So let's zoom you in just a wee bit more. Now I use the 45-degree rule. So you start off with your doe foot dead upright, okay? And then you turn it to a 45-degree angle and you mark your Cupid's bow and the outside of your lip. And bring it back to centre. You then do 45 degrees the other way and you repeat. Cupid's bow, outside of lip. You now have a nice M. So now we turn the doe foot applicator upside down and go from the corner of our lip to the line we've just made. Both sides. and then just fill in the rest of the lip. This helps give you a Cupid's bow if you don't actually have one as well. So let's zoom you back out again. And let's take my hair down. I normally forget to take these bobby pins out and then wonder why my brush won't go through my hair. Having one of those pain days where I can't actually hold my arms up for very long, and having held this one up quite a bit with makeup brushes, it did not want to take my hairband out. It's normally why I do this off camera, to be honest. And I might even cut this bit out. Whew. Yes, I actually trimmed my hair the other day because it was getting a little bit too long. So I am going to go in with, I think, the Rimmel Instafix and Go today. So we hold it at arm's length and we liberally douse our faces. Now, oh, this smells like melon. Actually, it reminds me of Paul Mitchell hairspray that I used to use in the early 90s. That takes me back a bit. A big bit. Right, so now, most people would stop at this point. Regular viewers know not only am I a little bit extra, I'm like a little bit extra, but if I work this hard to look this pretty, I want it to, I'm sure you can all say it with me by now, stay put. You don't have to go with that last little bit if you don't want to. But if you're extra like me, feel free to join me. It's one of my biggest fans. Okay, I've really picked up the husband's bad jokes now, honestly. But there we go. There is a nice fall vibed look for you, with not a bit of orange and not a bit of brown on the eyes, but admittedly I did use brown on the lips because I think it complements those colours really nicely. So, hey, I know I finished the video, but just got in from, it's meant to have been a couple of quiet drinks with the brother-in-law at the Besties pub. It was a couple of quiet drinks with the brother-in-law at the Besties pub, but we didn't get in till gone 10. It's now, ooh, midnight, and I've had this makeup on for about 10 hours. I just wanted to show you how vibrant these shadows still are, because if I zoom in, you can see they have not lost any of the vibrancy at all. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe when you subscribe, and don't forget to ring my bell, and choose all notifications so you get told every time I upload another one of these videos. And talking of another one of these videos, you've got to at least go and watch the False Lash application, haven't you? You know you want to do that. And once you've watched those two, yeah, I'm sure there's more you could find. And if you're one of my OGs who've watched all of my videos, either watch them again for me, which would be lovely, thank you, or in my description box I have got the beauty YouTuber growth group links. It would be awesome, and I would take it as a personal favour if you would please pop across and check out one of their videos. Right, all that remains for me to say, as always, you'll stay fabulous, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.